Okay, basically the theory works like this. Omnitheism is a belief that all religions, and therefore all gods and religious figures, are completely real. Now, subscribing to this belief is kind of tricky because there are precepts in religions that kind of nullify each other, even within the Christian religion. Tolerance kinda doesn't pair well with not counting any other religion as real. So, Omnitheism is also sort of a researcher's thing, because you're going to have to look through the precepts of the religions. See, you can believe that every religion is real without actually subscribing to every single precept of them. Now, the reason for this being is that in Omnitheism, it's believed that everything comes from the same force, like this universal force that was present in the Big Bang and is now present as life in everything. Think of it as, well, a good theory would be that it's a kind of energy. Now, see, this energy doesn't register anywhere on the electromagnetic scale, or anywhere on anything that we actually have the technology to measure. It's possible that one day we can, and then, in essence, we'll be able to see God. But we can't at the moment. It's just out of our reach. But it's there, present in everything. It's what runs your brain. Yeah, your brain's sort of like a computer. It has electric impulses that run around and make it work. But computers are the exact same thing, so why are we able to think? It's because we have life energy. And that life energy is God. It's what everything was initially created from, and whenever it dies, the energy flows back into the center of the universe. Now, here's a scientific theory. There's a theory that a lot of people subscribe to in the scientific community that there's a supermassive object in the middle of the universe that is pulling everything towards it. Now, what I think is this. There have been infinite universes before, and there'll be infinite universes after ours. Because what it is God, this big mass of sentient life energy, explodes outwards, collides, becomes things, designs itself into life and material. Because it is life, it is sentience, it's thought and everything. So it can put itself together. That's how a universe is made. Eventually it all drifts back into the center, collapses, and the cycle starts all over. Now there's never any more or less of this energy, so it follows physical laws. And it's like reincarnation each time it's used. There will probably be imprints of the past life. You know, that's like those dreams of memories you don't even have. That's how I think that works. So everything is made from that. And I think that all the gods of every religion are different manifestations or different interpretations of the same force. Now, see, it's not always the same God. They are different gods, and they are all real. But they all come from the same force, and so do we. We all come from the same force. So everything comes from one thing. So just imagine that as God, or energy, or whatever you like. That's still what it all boils down to. Even all these gods in every religion that were completely real have all these powers and portents to deliver. Now, that also raises a couple other questions. First of which being ethics. Why do we even need ethics if this is true? Well, there's a point to that. See, if we all come from the same sentient force, and that sentient force believes a certain way, when we're created, we are instilled with these beliefs. So, think of it as that sentient force being God. He knows everything that is right and wrong, because it's what decided it. It's what knows it, because that's what's made into it, and is therefore made into us and everything. Because every human has an innate knowledge of ethical behavior, what is right and what is wrong. There's really not much of a middle area. I mean, sure, there's some things that are harder to decide, but you still know what's right and wrong in the end. So, further beyond that, after the question of ethics, which I do believe are just built into us by this energy we're all made of, because that's just the way that it works and the way it always has, there's the second question of where we go when we die. I think you go wherever you believe you go, because the energy of sentience that leaves you when you die and goes back into the main body, or back to God, whatever you want to call it, that's your mind. So you'll be stuck in a dream state of wherever you think you're going to go. Now this raises a third and final question. What about people who sincerely believe they're doing the right thing, who think they're being completely ethical, but are in reality just completely twisted and evil, like, say, Stalin or Hitler? Here's how I think that works. Since they die and they go back into this great mass of energy, their minds become one with it, they're affected by the other minds that are in it. Now, their own belief is first and foremost and therefore more powerful. But if there's enough other people that hate them and have good reason for them to be tortured and burned for all eternity, they could be sent to hell or the underworld or wherever else it is by other people's belief, just because it's so massive and so powerful that it would overwhelm their own. So, that being said, that's pretty much how Omnism works. And if you look at Omnitheism, you'll notice that just about everything in it makes perfect sense. Sure, there are things you'd have to look at a little deeper, but you can find a perfectly valid excuse for all of it. So I like it. Another good thing about it is you have complete tolerance for every religion because you believe they're all right. And you never want anyone to convert because, well, you believe they're right to begin with. There you go. That's Omnitheism in a nutshell.